have a question for you really quick.
No, go ahead.
So I wanted to ask you, because I never thought to really ask you these things, because
I'm scared.
Because you're not so light, I never really looked at you any differently. I more so looked at like your mom and like our great aunt, you know, like I knows a little differently. But do you feel as if you've been treated differently in circumstances because you are not as dark?
I don't think
Do you have red bone privilege?
That's what I'm wondering. If I'm on that other side of, I just think I get treated normal, but you don't know unless sometimes you just don't know. And like when I was growing up, I didn't understand color, and like they have videotapes of me being a little girl, like what, like 2 maybe. And I would tell people, you know, my mom is white and my dad is black.
Oh, so that makes sense.
Okay, and like, what are you? And I'm like, well, I'm in the middle. It's like because I thought my mom was white.
She is in the middle.
And I grew up around, you know, before we moved back to our hometown, I grew up around a lot of Caucasian individuals, and my mom looked more like them than she did us, so I just assumed my mom was white and my dad was black, so I was just in the middle.
I love her mom.
And I didn't think anybody treated me different, but I'm aware now as an adult, and that's what really matters, is that people are being treated differently for the color of their skin. You may not understand it, you may not think it is true, but it is real, and if you choose to ignore it, you're part of the problem.
Facts.
Period.
And I think for me, I look at colorism like racism in that I feel like just as much as there are white people in this world who are saying that racism is dead and, you know, they're saying that, I feel like there are people who refuse to acknowledge colorism and they try to treat it like racism, like white people treat racism. I feel like black people be like, colorism isn't a thing. Like, y'all are just making things up in your mind.
It's very unfortunate. It's very, because even down to, this may not be exactly like that, but I was telling Jessica that, like, back to texturism, like even in our family, I was trying to explain to my mom, we have an aunt whose hair is very coarse, and it's so beautiful. Like, it's thick, like, it's amazing. And so they always say, like, what do they say, like, about
Got
her?
it. Don't even worry about it.
Who?
Shout out to J-Lo for going natural. J-Lo is my mom, y'all.
Yeah.
But my mom and some of the other sisters had a constant conversation about going natural. And we done came too far to be nappy-headed again.
And they're all natural now.
Girl, I cannot. And like, I'm so proud of my mom because the negativity she spewed about natural hair. And then when I went natural, she was like, oh, okay. But she still made comments like, oh, well, you got really good hair and this, that, and the third. And it's just like...
It was taught to her. That was taught.
But she's seeing now, my mom's hair is not like my hair.
Okay.
And so she has to put more work into her hair. And she still hasn't given up. Like, she's still rocking that joint. And I'm just... And she just talks about now, you know, like how it's nice it is to be natural, and I have to go run and get perms and stuff all the time. So people's mindsets can be changed. Right. But sometimes you've got, like, this is cliche, but you have to be the change that you want to see.
Yeah.
So I picked out my dress. I went natural. I talked to my mom about being natural. I talked to my mom about being on YouTube and finding people whose hair was like mine and trying to figure out how to cultivate my hair. And now she's doing the same thing, but if I hadn't have done it, she wouldn't have done it, and that's facts. I'm pretty right.
I'm so glad that I'm so glad that her mom got something out of it, but mine, on the other hand, she's still growing and she's natural, but like
sometimes
the comment she's made, like the point I was making earlier about a family member, as far as like, you know, water rolling off her hair, like this family member knows it. It's not like it's a secret, but I don't like that they've done that to her so much over time. That their hair may have been more manageable when they were growing up. Maybe not. I'm speaking for my mom. It may have been, but not to downplay or make the other cousin or family member, well, their sister, feel as if her hair is not as great because hers is thicker and that water rolls off of it. Water rolls off of mine too.
What's the likelihood of her waking up tomorrow morning and saying, I'm gonna go natural, knowing the things that her, and I know she don't take it harmful, and you know they laugh about it, but that stuff seeds things inside.
She gets relaxes, by the way. She's the one that doesn't. She's not natural.
Yeah, stuff like that seeds stuff into people, and to bring it back, that's what happens when you tell somebody that they're pretty for a dark skinned girl. It sees
Yes.
something within them.
Yes.
You gotta watch. Your words are so powerful.
Words are
Power
very-
is in the tongue, and you have to watch what you speak onto and into people. We need to be more uplifting. We need to be more accepting without condemnation. I think that's another step we really can take. Now I've got a question. Who's got more attitude, light skin or dark skin?
I don't think there's a difference
at all.
Y'all,
people are people.
Like she go to 100 way quicker than she do.
Don't put my.
Oops, sorry.
Oh,
I mean, I'm sorry. It's
first
just
of all, God's working on me. First and foremost, and I do not go to 100. I go to about 75.
Oh, excuse me. She's sassier
Thank you.
than
I'll
she
take
is.
that.
But she's sassy as well. We all have different levels, and I don't think it has anything to do with our skin complexion.
Who started the dark skinned girls or the neck rollers and all the attitude?
And,
like,
he
who started
skin.
that?
He acting light skinned.
He's acting light skinned. He's
sensitive. I want to talk about the females first.
Okay.
I want to talk about the female stereotypes that go along with being dark skinned and light skinned. Like, I don't get it. And I'll say that because somebody very close to me makes comments like that. And I have to get him all of the time. Like,
well, think about TV, you know, and like Whitley and that's not even the girl, but
well, we can do Pam and Gina because
Pam and Gina.
That's a great example of Martin. Gina is like all sweet and soft and like, you know, Martin, whatever. And Pam is like, you know, nigga, you ugly, like get out my. She is way more brash and out there than Gina is, and I think that's something that's constantly seen in media. The light woman is soft, she's feminine, while the dark woman is aggressive, she's angry, she's masculine, and they do that for both men and women. So
even in Coming to America, when you have
the younger sister who's all about money, and she's like, don't talk to me unless you got money, and then the lighter one is like, I demand this substance into you, and she's like the damsel in distress. So that's what they do. Fair skinned women are pinned as the damsel in distress, and the darker women are pinned as being problematic.
It's just the bullshit that we've continued to be fed, and it's just sad. Even down to, I guess, when I had a flashback moment, like when I was working somewhere when I was younger, and a lot of white people would say like, you act differently than most black people. So then in my mind I'm like, oh, well, I guess that's a good thing, because we have been.
I spit them a master now.
Right, you know that, because we've been depicted to be people that are just so outrageous and don't know how to act. You speak so well for a black
I'm well spoken. Wait.
Environment has been environment has been painted onto a whole slew of people. Yeah. And it's just like, okay, everybody doesn't act like they're from the streets of Chicago. Everybody doesn't act like they're from Crenshaw. No. I'm about to call out a lot of places. But what I'm saying is culturally in a place. Yeah. People identify with what they feel like black acting and white acting is. And it's different if we're in Illinois. It's different if we're in California. It's different if we're in North Carolina. Yep. If I pulled up to the scene with a Yukon with the backlord, people would tell me I'm acting white. Because here in North Carolina, that's a thing. They call it the Carolina Squat. Google it. Car club, yeah, babe. Baby teaching me about cars. But they call it the Carolina Squat, and you would say I was acting white because it's something predominantly that white country boys in North Carolina do. So I think it's specific to your region, but they paint black people and the way we should act as whatever the worst is for that particular region. And if you're acting outside of that, then wow, you're really pretty for a black girl. Like you're really sweet to be.
You're really well spoken. Oh, you are so.
I have education. I have education.
We can go on and on, but it's frustrating, and I take to all that personally because I've struggled with being. I don't know if everyone hasn't had this issue, but I have struggled with being dark in so many ways, even down to dating. Like, because black girls, like you said, or darker girls were considered to be the ones with attitude. Which personally, I don't feel like I have a terrible attitude, but can get there. I'm very dramatic, but aside of that, I feel as if I had to combat. Like, let me not look mean. because, you know, I already have a naturally bitch face. I can't help that. But, you know, darker girls look mean, so I'm always now trying to smile, come off as a pleasant person. And yes, it comes from me thinking about I'm of darker skin. I don't want to represent it.
Me, like,
yeah,
how the ideas they already have of me before I even interact with them. Like, let me make sure I don't come off too loud.
Yeah,
don't let me be their stereotype.
Too aggressive.
Yeah, don't let me be their stereotype.
And I feel like that's something that I've had to deal with too. I'm not gonna act like I've always been the most confident person in my skin, because like I said, I got to school and I realized like I'm not supposed to be favored. I'm not supposed to be appreciated. And so that played on me in every interaction I've had. I've always thought in the back of my mind, like, what do they think of me because I'm dark? And I hate that, because I feel like that's not even something that I should care about. But that's something that has become a huge focus in our community, is your light or darkness versus who you are as a human being.
And what you bring to the table.
Exactly. So I guess let's give, I mean, what are some key takeaways the two of you would like for our audience to take from this conversation? Because I feel like colorism, that's something we can talk about forever. So in everything we've talked about and we've ran through, is there anything or any advice you would give to someone who may just be learning about colorism, who may be struggling with colorism and, you know, their self-image? What advice do the two of you have for them?
You want to start?
Okay. And I'm speaking on colorism within our community.
The Black community, yes.
I would say a couple takeaways very quickly. Watch your mouth. No, and not in a threatening way.
Yes.
But watch your mouth. Be mindful of what you spew out of this, because as we said earlier, it has power.
Yes.
Let's really go back to focusing on uplifting each other, because honestly, if you're thinking consciously about what your objective is when you wake up in the morning, if my objective is to uplift people who look like me, then that's what is going to be in the back of my mind, and I'm going to set out to do every day. Being mindful of what I say, how I approach, and how I speak. Also, speak.
Yes.
Do not be silent. It's everybody's fight. It's not just the dark-skinned girl's fight or the light-skinned dude's fight, like, or whatever. Like, speak. Because here's the thing. When people come after somebody, and I'm going to use a real left example, okay? They are killing Black people in the streets. Okay? But period. That's a statement. Like, facts. And we're looking around like, y'all have to see that this is wrong. But because it doesn't affect other people and other races, people aren't standing up the way we want them to stand up. Trump is trying to build a wall. He is deporting Hispanics and immigrants, and he's keeping children. He doing a whole lot of fuck shit.
Yes.
Language. But who's there? They are reaching out for someone to help, and no one is helping
because
it doesn't affect them. After a while, babes, there's nobody left to help you, because once you knock down everybody, then whoever's left is here to get it, and there's no of those that were before you to help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So speak when you see somebody mistreated. Speak when you hear somebody say some old fuck shit. Like, speak out of your mouth, because one day it will be you. I might not speak for Aya when somebody says that she's really pretty to be a dark girl. Well, then I can't expect her to be like, whoa, that's disrespectful. If somebody walks up to me and be like, oh, you're real cute to be heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've got to, I'm not there, but we've got to look out for each other. Just look out for each other, y'all. Take care of each other. Like,
and I just want to say, I think that's for everyone. Like, yes, we are talking about colorism today, but in general, if we as people have more of the heart of God or whomever, whatever you believe in, but of good, a heart of good, and want to practice that, I think it will all work for everything. We're all human beings. So therefore, you see someone being mistreated, you should do something about it. But, unfortunately, we live in a world where it's made us want to focus more. Well, we have to focus more on people that are of color, because obviously we're the main ones that are being mistreated. So that's why the focus goes back to just people of color. That's why we say Black Lives Matter, because it doesn't look like our lives matter the way that we're being treated. So ultimately, that's my key, or my tips for those that are watching. As she said, just speak. Speak if you see that something is wrong. Like, try to work to be a good person. And for my girls out there, or fellas as well, that are of the Black community, love yourself. And I love how we talked about earlier, it starts in your family. Like, for all ages, like it can start today, as far as trying to educate yourself and learn more about us, because we are royal people. We pretty much built this motherfucking place. So we are way more than what we really think we are. So educate yourself.
And piggybacking off of that, just self-reflecting, because I think a lot of these people who say they have preferences, and myself included, just like you said, Jessica, in high school I used to claim that I only wanted to date a white guy. I had my Chris Brown moment where I grew up. Chris Brown became popular when I was like 13, and I was like crazy. I wanted a guy who looked like him. He was just whatever, and I didn't realize that a lot of that had to do with my self-image and feeling like darker wasn't as valuable once I got to school and realized how they put on. So self-reflect, because I think a lot of people say, oh, I have a preference, it's just what I like, when a lot of it is rooted in colorism. And a lot of it is rooted in texturism. And I think when you can identify that in yourself, you'll be able to correct yourself. You'll be able to unlearn some things and see that there is truly beauty in your complexion, in darker complexions. And it doesn't matter. You won't have a preference. You will just see a beautiful person and make a beautiful connection, and that's all that will matter to you.
Yes.
So self-reflecting is important. I feel like Jessica hit everything on the head. So I mean, you guys give us your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe, and
I wanted to say that part.
Oh,
like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, and follow Jessica as well. Give them your social media handle so they can follow you.
Rabbit 910 on everything. On everything.
And go ahead and plug in your business too.
Yes. Imperial Rabbit Apparel on Instagram. Imperial Rabbit on Facebook. I make African-inspired accessories and clothing, so check your girl out.
I'm trying to get her to make me the sandals she got on her feet, but she playing.
Anyway.
So yeah, guys.
Well, I'm back to
Thank y'all so much for joining us this week. I'm pretty sure this will not be the last of Miss Jessica.
Hope not.
Yes. Once again, comment, give us your feedback, and we will see you next time.
Adaro.
Bye.
Deuces.